I came to Singapore chasing ruins. Urban exploration was my thrill. Changi Hospital, abandoned, decaying, haunted, was irresistible. I entered just before dusk. The main building was a hollow skeleton, eaten by time and mildew. As I explored the ICU ward, I began hearing faint footsteps, not echoing, following. I turned. Empty halls. But the air, it felt like something was breathing just over my shoulder. Then I found the children's ward. Rusty cribs, overturned wheelchairs, shattered IV bottles. One crib was oddly clean, the mattress almost new. I leaned in. That's when I saw it. A creature crouched in the corner of the ceiling. Like a spider, its limbs too long, its body gaunt, skeletal. But it was its face. No eyes, just black, sunken sockets. And yet, I felt watched. It dropped to the floor soundlessly and began crawling toward me. I ran. Every corridor turned in on itself. The hospital seemed to shift with me, closing exits, warping hallways. And it was always there, just at the edge of every turn, waiting, never running, just following. I finally burst into the lobby and slammed the door behind me. Silence. But before I could catch my breath, I felt a wetness on my cheek. I reached up. Blood, not mine. I turned to the cracked mirror by the entrance. My reflection was smiling. Two black, empty eyes stared from within my own. My grandfather died in Changi Hospital in the 80s. Before he passed, he'd whisper about a nurse in white who would come to feed him shadows. My family dismissed it as dementia. I never did. Years later, I found myself in Singapore and gave in to a morbid curiosity. I went in, alone, at midnight. I brought an EMF reader, just for show, but it went berserk the moment I stepped onto the third floor. It was dead quiet. No animals, no wind, no sound. I turned down a hallway filled with old hospital beds, each with a rusted IV pole beside it. As I walked, a rhythmic tapping began. Heel, toe, as if someone in heels was walking just behind me. I turned. Nothing. Then a whisper. Time for your medication. I froze. From the far end of the hallway, a figure emerged. White nurse's uniform, but her face was blurred, like smoke. Her walk was steady, deliberate. I backed away, but she kept pace. Suddenly, the lights flickered. An impossible thing in a hospital with no power. The walls began to pulse, like they were breathing. I turned to run, but every bed now had a patient, each with hollow eyes, mouths wide in silent screams. The nurse touched my arm. Ice cold. I blacked out. I woke up outside the hospital entrance. My phone was dead. My arm where she touched me, bruised black, like something had gripped it with inhuman strength. It wasn't listed on the blueprints. A basement operating room, hidden beneath the east wing. I only found it because I followed a scream. Yes, a scream. One that didn't echo like sound should. It felt inside my head. I found a rusted door half covered in vines. It took all my strength to pry it open. A staircase spiraled downward into darkness. I went, flashlight trembling in my grip. The air changed. Thick, metallic, blood. The room was massive. Surgical tables, restraints, old cameras, and walls lined with surgical masks, hanging like faces. Then the lights, surgical lamps, flickered on by themselves. I heard metal dragging, and I saw them. Surgeons, but wrong. Tall skin stretched like wax. Faces completely covered in stained gauze. They held scalpels so worn it looked like bone. They didn't walk. They floated. I ran for the stairs, but the door had sealed shut. No lock, just gone. I was trapped. The scalpel hissed through the air as it slashed past my face. I ducked and bolted into a supply closet. I don't remember blacking out. When I woke, I was lying on a surgical table. My chest was marked with lines, dotted with X's. The scalpel was on my chest, and written on the ceiling above me in dried blood. Next time, we'll finish. Every haunting has a witness. You've just become one. Subscribe and never be alone again.